Providence segment. Mayor Brett Smiley joins us in studio. Mayor, always good to see you.
Nice to see you too.
So in a little bit, we have an ice protest that's planned for downtown Providence, as is in many cities across the country. Obviously, LA getting a lot of the attention. What do you know about today? What are we expecting today?
Yeah, there's a few folks there already right now at the Federal Building, downtown Providence. It's a very small group at the moment, less than 10. And you know, our hope, like past protests, is that they remain peaceful. We have protests in the city pretty regularly. They've all been peaceful. My expectation is that this one will be as well, but public safety is well aware. They've got a plan. And in Providence, we allow people to express their views and to do so freely, but we ask that they do so safely and peacefully. And so that's our hope.
Has there been any ice activity that you know about in the city?
Yeah.
There has? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there was ice activity in the city before the
Right,
current
but I
president.
mean, obviously, it's a little bit more serious now.
Yeah, we haven't had any sort of roundups or any sort of major operations since January, but there has been occasional ice activity, and so you know, we, as I've said many times, we don't proactively cooperate with ICE, but they have come to town a few times, and we work really hard to try to make sure our community remains safe and feels like they can still send their kids to school and still go to work and still, you know, operate in society.
All right. The last time you were here was when the Palestinian flag raising kind of was blowing up that day on TV, and we actually spent most of the interview talking a little bit about that. Tell us a little bit about what has changed or what's been implemented since then, because obviously you had no flag policy, right? You told us that day. Where do we stand now?
Yeah, so by executive order that Friday, I issued a flag policy that says now any flag that flies on the ceremonial flagpole at City Hall either requires official decree from the mayor or a resolution, meaning a majority vote of the city council, and they have to be time limited. And so just at the end of last week, we flew the Portuguese flag for the Day of Portugal, and we were happy to do so. It happened without incident. I issued an official proclamation in order to do that, and that will help prevent one council person on their own or one citizen demanding a flag get flown.
So either you have a proclamation or the city council votes as a majority. No one can overrule each other, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. And if there is a request to raise the Palestinian flag once again at City Hall, where will you stand?
I would say the same thing I said last time, which is I think it's not helpful to our community, and I think we saw it that day. We had a protest, a counter-protest. Providence was not more united as a result of that action. We were in fact more divided, and so, but next time the city council would have to introduce a resolution and then pass that resolution for it to happen. That didn't happen last time.
But would you, if it comes down to you in making the decision, where do you stand now? No thank you?
I won't be issuing a mayoral decree, certainly,
Okay.
to fly the Providence flag.
Are there certain flags that you won't fly at City Hall just because of what's going on in the world right now?
Again, I'm in my third year as mayor now. This is the first time we've had a contentious issue, and you know, we're going to fly the Pride flag in a couple weeks here, and we're going to celebrate the Dominican Festival and the Guatemalan Festival, and we do that without incident. And I would expect to continue that regular schedule. This is the first time it's been an issue.
All right. I wanted to ask you about the Matunuck Oyster Bar. Obviously, it's getting a lot of attention since the fire, but there had been talk about maybe moving it to Skyline at Water Place Park. I read a story about that. Have you heard about this? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so like a lot of Rhode Islanders, I was devastated when the fire happened. I have enjoyed the Matunuck Oyster Bar. I know Perry, the owner. The day of the fire, I sent him a note and told him how sorry I was, and if there was anything that he thought I could do to help, to let me know. Since then, we have made him aware of the fact that Water Place Skyline, the restaurant at the Basin, is city property. It's vacant, and so we've encouraged him to take a look at it. It's not any more developed than that. It's very preliminary, but we would be thrilled to have the Matunuck Oyster Bar in Providence, either as a temporary pop-up or as a long-term endeavor. At least from news reports, he's got about 300 employees who don't have jobs right now. I'd love to see those people back to work. I'd love to see him earn some revenue so that he can rebuild the Matunuck Oyster Bar in Matunuck. And but if we can provide a temporary home, be thrilled to do so.
Is there anyone else interested in that spot right now?
So we've been taking a few restaurant and event companies through it. Our plan was to do an RFP, and so we've been taking requests or trying to, quote, shop it around so that people know what the space is before they have an opportunity to bid on it. And some people have expressed interest, but until we actually put it out to the market, we don't know for sure.
Right, so we don't have a real defined answer from Perry regarding Matunuck coming there. Have you had a There's no either way, right?
There's certainly no commitment, and
Okay.
I want to caution everyone, this is very preliminary,
Okay.
but put me down as enthusiastic about it. It would be terrific, and I think not just Providence residents, but Rhode Islanders would be thrilled to come support Perry somewhere to help him and his employees get back on their feet.
All right, on Friday, the governor announced the contractor for the Washington Bridge and all this, and the date that it's going to be done, which I believe was 2028, I think.
2028 is what they
Yeah,
said.
and how did that sit with you?
So the governor says that the money is there, which is great. Thanks to our federal delegation and state leadership. The timeline is what the timeline is. I'm not a bridge builder, but I'm disappointed that it will be 5 years start to finish by the time this is done. But as I've said here and many other times, at least we know now. At least we know we've got someone we can hold accountable. Those businesses can sort of set their clock to that about how much longer they need to grin and bear it.
Right, and you still have businesses and communities that are impacted by the Washington Bridge, right?
Yeah, the folks on South Water Street and South Main Street get it every day at rush hour, people trying to get onto 195 East. And then anytime there's an accident, because there's just no margin for error right now. So there's one accident, and then suddenly everyone's diverting over the Henderson Bridge, and Angel and Waterman in Wayland Square get very busy. I don't have to look at the traffic report to know there's been an accident because I see the
residual
cars
effects, yeah.
clogging up Wayland Square. So I know something's happened on the Washington Bridge.
All right, Mayor, they're holding us there for time, but always good to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you too.
And we'll head it over to Emily now.